Alright, we're good. Battery's doing good yet, surprisingly. So, vlog is done. I did another one. Was not planning on staying, or wasn't planning on staying long anyway, so. I think that's my old neighbor. I think that's him. Headed out. Yeah, no, I was expecting the parking lot to be barriered, but oh well. They must have not done it this year, because I think they're expecting the winter to be so like mild again. You know, like warmer than like how it was last year. I don't know. So I'm just happy that nobody asked me about my whips this time. Pads. Yeah, I'm just happy that nobody asked me if my whips were for sale this time. You know, which has only happened once, I think, at a first attempt, which was the second time, but you know, the second time I was sitting on the old basketball court here, you know, because they got the new one on the end of the parking lot now. And being that they took the first one out, the old one out, I was sitting on the just the blacktop pad or concrete pad, whatever material it's made out of. You know, just sitting there chilling, taking a little break, and the kids, those same kids walked up and they're like, "Excuse me, hello, hey," they're like, "Excuse me." I started riding off because I heard them. You know, I didn't want to deal with them. And this is the second time. rocket. And I rode off and they kept yelling, excuse me, hey, hello. You know, as I was riding off, I yelled out, my shit ain't for fucking sale. You know, and I swore at him, you know, to show that I'm mad. Oof, daydreaming over here, shouldn't be doing that. Okay. You know, and I swore at him, which, yeah, bad me, but at the same time, they're gonna realize that the real world ain't gonna be nice. You know, they gotta realize, you know, the better they, or the faster they realize it, the better. You know, the real world ain't gonna be nice. It never will be. You know, hate to sound like that and be that guy, but you know, at the same time, I'm sorry. So they never dealt with me or tried to fuck with me after that. Not that I remember anyway. I'm gonna get up on the left side so that they can get around me. So I wanted you to do, you chomo. You know, so and I blasted them all over the fucking internet too, you know, I don't care, so they see those, if they see those videos, hey, you know, I don't care, you know, welcome to the real world. It's gonna be fucking mean, rude, and cruel. You know, and I appreciate that you're being polite about it, but when I tell you the first time that my shit's not for sale, fuck off. Don't give me a dirty ass look when I fucking ride off, because your ass will be put on blast on the internet. I don't give a fuck if your mom and dad has money or not. I'm gonna tell them, I should have told them, go get your mom and dad, and I'm gonna tell them a price. You know, and if you're like, does your mom and dad speak English? And you're like, yeah. I'm like, okay, go get your mom and dad. Both of you. You're like, and explain to them what you're wanting to buy. You know, and I dip ice. But, you know, I tell them, I'll wait here. Go get your mom and dad now. They're like, how much you want for these? I said, I'm not, you know, I tell them some ridiculously high price. So that they're like, no, we're good, we can't afford that. It's a nice truck. Take the ugly wheels off, but I'll put a nicer set of aftermarket wheels on. You know, they're like, sorry, we can't afford that. And I'm like, thought so. You know, and when I told your kids that my stuff ain't for sale, it's because I knew you guys wouldn't be able to afford the price I give you. You know, I tell them $1,000. You know, and most of that's my time for making this shit. They're gonna be like, there is no fucking way that, you know, your time's worth that much. I said, yeah, it is. I would have said, yeah, it is. You got a problem with it, you can go back home and where you're from. You know, get racial, but you know, I'm normally not racial. Get on the side here, I'm wandering. I'm gonna go down Farland again. Just keep this guy off my ass.